Temptation Island Season 2 is heating up, the Haven is opening up, and people are getting fired up. Let's get into it. Hey y'all, it's Nay. Welcome back to my little corner of YouTube. This video will contain spoilers for Temptation Island Season 2, episodes 4 through 6. So if you haven't seen them yet and you do not want spoilers, save this video and come back after you do. You are about to hear my thoughts on episodes 4 through 6, but of course I want to hear yours, so feel free to drop your thoughts below if you do want to participate in the conversation, and give this video a like and a hype before you go. So remember how diabolical I said this show was in my last video? Remember, this is my first time watching it. Scratch all that. It got even more sinister in this batch of episodes. What the hell is Temptation Haven?
It's an area where you can go whenever you want, with whomever you want. There are no cameras in there.
It really don't get no crazier than that. I told y'all that production is actively trying to break up these couples. It is not subtle. They sending them on real dates. They got havens trying to literally tempt them. That is the name of the game. And when they said, oh, we're going to be alerting the other house, I was like, oh, that's kind of a bit much, but we'll see how it plays out. I thought it was going to be a little red light. I had a feeling it was going to be red because that's kind of like the danger. I thought it was going to be a little red light that, I don't know, goes off in the kitchen, goes off on the front door, just like a light bulb. Imagine my surprise when the entire house lit up and it makes a noise.
Dog, didn't know.
That's crazy. Speaking of Temptation Haven, let's just get into Shyanne and Jack, who really need to go ahead and wrap this shit up. Now, I want to talk a little bit about their relationship before they came on the show. If you want to talk about levels to cheating, Jack definitely took it up a notch further than Shyanne did, because from what we know about his cheating incident, he had his lips on another woman's lips. Which set? You're gonna have to ask him. So he did take it a step further than a simple kiss. That being said, Shyanne never once brought up the fact that she also cheated on him.
A year or two into a relationship, she went out with a friend and, got drunk and, kissed someone she had talked to in the past.
So you're telling me she cheated before you cheated?
Yeah.
And to me, it's because it's clear that she doesn't think her kissing someone is as bad as him sleeping with someone. So she thinks that it's irrelevant. But in my opinion, it doesn't negate what she did. She very much cheated as well. And I think a lot of the reason that she goes so hard on Jack is because she feels guilty about it. And this couple just keeps proving time and time again why I say you should not be in a serious relationship when you're 18, 19, 20 years old. It's human nature to want to explore at that age because you've never done it before. And I will fight on this hill. In my opinion, Jack never got over her kissing her ex. And his cheating was just in retaliation. So now she feels she needs to retaliate against his retaliation, and they really are stuck in this cycle. The fact that they were 18, 19, 20, 21 when all of this happened, they were too young to be like, maybe we should go to couples therapy about this, and really I don't think they should have at that age. Just chalk it up to the game. And they were also too inexperienced to realize, okay, we keep hurting each other, this is not healthy, let's let it go. That comes with maturity. That comes after a few relationships. That comes with time and with age. You learn, like, being in this relationship is just hurting us, so we might as well just let this go. It's gonna hurt to let it go, but we're gonna be even more hurt if we stay in it. That's not something you would do at 18 because you just don't have the experience to know that it needs to be let go. Even some older people don't have the experience to know when it should be let go, and some of them are on this show. So essentially they're just both sitting here suffering in this relationship. And on top of that, she told him if he messed up on this show, she might have to get with one of his friends.
I told him, I said, if he embarrasses me, your friends are no longer off limits. Just so that way.
You can't start fucking his
that's
friends.
crazy.
And I just want everybody to know, you don't say something like that unless you thought about it already. When she said that to that man, she had a friend in mind. Have no doubt. And so at this point, I'm not mad that he kissed Carter. I'm not upset that he took a shot off her boobs or stepped into bed with her, because I think he should be moving as a single man, and I think Shyanne should be moving as a single woman. I'm actually, honestly, more appalled that Carter got in the bed with her dirty ass feet. I'm tired of seeing this on these shows. Clean your feet before you get in the bed. Clean your whole body, y'all. That's because y'all don't be cleaning y'all whole bodies. I know the type. I do have to say this. I thoroughly enjoyed watching Shyanne dig into him during that second bonfire. And I just want to say that she confirmed what I said about the bad sex.
I hope she enjoys her 30 fucking seconds of nothing.
Yeah.
I hope she leaves and she stays gone this time. They aren't for each other. And a year from now, the tears that she's crying on this show aren't going to matter, because she's going to be thriving in her career, probably thriving in a new relationship, and everything's going to be good. And Jack is going to be a 26-year-old club promoter. I was also very happy to see Shyanne be the first person to go into Temptation Haven. I know that she went in there out of pain based off of what she saw during the bonfire. And so I hope she didn't feel guilty about it, although after seeing how everything else happened, I don't think she did. But I hope she doesn't feel guilty about it, because that's what needed to be done. And like she said,
He's gonna see me making out with
Preston. He's gonna see me going into the Haven with Preston. He's gonna see me and Preston having a sleepover, and I can't wait.
I couldn't wait to see his reaction either. And I really was waiting for them to show Jack that clip of her saying that Preston is so giant, because I knew that one was gonna hit.
Like giant.
I'm glad he asked for part 2. I know that hurt him. But Shyanne really should be chilling though. She's over here exploring caves in Hawaii with Preston. Meanwhile, Netflix is sending her childish ass boyfriend on childish ass s'mores dates with Carter. So she winning. And as for the Jasenia Carter situation, that's neither here nor there to me. Jack isn't Carter's man, and Carter's just playing with him, so she didn't really care either. And I will say this, I don't think Jasenia likes him either. He, like I said before, he just has this aura about him that gives off little boy. And no grown-ass woman, 22 or otherwise, is gonna want to be around that. Like he's like a little kid. He's fun to play around with. That's about it.
Are you attracted to me?
That's just not the way that a woman responds when she actually is attracted to you. Of course. Like, that's something I said to somebody when I didn't want to hurt their feelings. And then I also think she felt a little disrespected in the Haven because he was drunk, and I think he just wanted to have sex, to be honest. And while she was down to fool around with him, you know, without going all the way, she wasn't down for whatever he was trying to be down with. She wasn't willing to take that extra step, and that's why she told him to zip his pants up.
Button up your pants.
You know what I don't like though? I don't like that Mikey was over here trying to make it seem like Shyanne is asking for too much to want Jack to be a little bit more of a man and an adult.
Like, I don't care how much money somebody has.
She's not crazy for wanting someone who's financially responsible. At the end of the day, you can say that you don't care about money and it doesn't matter to you, but when you and your girlfriend are facing eviction and there's no food in your fridge, you're gonna start realizing that money might matter a little bit. People always want to put this gold digger label on women for wanting a man that's financially stable, financially responsible. But what's always left out of the conversation is the fact that money is a necessity. No one's asking him to be a millionaire, but can you make something a little bit more stable than I promote parties? Because that's gonna run out. Matter of fact, I think the trends are showing that Gen Z doesn't even party like that. And since Gen Z should be partying right now, that money's not being made like it was on millennials. Millennials, you know, were wearing full pantsuits to the club, and so they were fully in the club scene, okay? Every generation is supposed to kind of pick up that next round of club goers and drinkers. Gen Z is not going to the club like that, and Gen Z is not drinking. His aspiration at 25 years old is to be a party promoter. What about that says stability to you, and what about that is attractive to a woman? Because any woman over the age of 21 is gonna be like, okay, and what else? It's always the men with no gold that are worried about gold digger. Because you could see the man that understands money is important was on mute when this conversation was happening.
Somebody
how
has,
bad
bro.
she was bashing you.
Do you care when she like shits on you, like the
do you
bonfire
care?
and
Like,
stuff?
does it?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
cause your response, you know, at the
He said, my name is Bennett and I ain't in it. Because he knows that that's little boy talk to be like, why does she want a man with money? Because you need money to live. Moving on to Sydney and Mikey. Mikey is going through it, okay? That man is in Spain without the S. I feel like Temptation Island is Mikey's karma. He explicitly and excitedly reminisced on his time in college, as he should. Again, I think he should. But about the fact that he was a ladies' man and he had a different woman every single night of the week. He's reaping what he sowed in the sense that karma has come back around. Yeah, this is all those tears that he's crying on Temptation Island are the equivalent of all the tears that the girls have cried over him. And so he's feeling it right now, and you know, hey, it is what it is. Something that's really interesting about both Sid and Mikey, when they saw each other during the bonfires, they were both like, well, you know, I'm sad that it's not me that he's happy with, or I'm sad that it's not me that she's happy with, but I'm happy for them.
I wish I was experiencing these moments with Sydney, but I'm not, and that's something I gotta live with.
I hate that it couldn't be me, you know? I hate that he doesn't feel like I was enough. But at the end of the day, I know I'm enough.
I think Sid meant it, but I think Mikey was just saying it to cope. And we kind of know he was, because the man was a river, okay? The tears would not stop flowing. And I think that was even further confirmed when he saw them kiss. And he was just like, too stunned to speak.
Oh.
Now here's where Netflix starts to get petty again, because they definitely could have drawn the line at making Mikey watch his girlfriend's eyes roll to the back of her head when Xavier was kissing on her neck. They didn't have to show him that. That was a little much. But Mikey aside, I really do love this for Sid. I think Xavier is a stand-up guy. I think he is giving her princess treatment as much as he can while they're on this island, on this reality TV show. I think he really does believe that she is the prize, and I think he's treating her like a grown man should treat her. Mikey's not there yet, and Mikey just might not be the one for her. And he's getting his heart broken right now, and that really sucks, but we all go through it. And I think that Sid is right to lock down X before somebody else does. And honestly, I think they have the biggest chance of leaving out of here a couple. They seem locked in. It could all just be the reality TV of it all, but you never know. They really seem like they enjoy each other. I don't think you can fake that connection. And they even look super relaxed when they were doing the sensual embodiment date. And the man is willing to get her earwax in his mouth. You can't get much more locked in than that, because I'm not getting earwax in my mouth. Never say never, but I don't think Summit is ever going to be ready for a relationship. At least not anytime soon. Because if his mindset is still this,
It just goes back to this idea of like always being attracted and drawn to like the newest, next shiny item.
then he's cooked. There is always going to be someone younger, hotter, sexier body, all of the above, more than the person that you're with. But if you are genuinely happy in your relationship and you're committed, then that shouldn't turn your head so quickly. There's always going to be something that's shinier. But like my granny say, not everything that glitters is gold. And in that same note, there's always going to be a man who's hotter than you, taller than you, built better than you. And so how would you feel if every time a hotter man walked by, your girl was like, yeah, I think I could be with him? That's a crazy thing. And listen, I'm not saying don't look. I'm well aware that we all have eyes. I think it's actually irrational to be like, never look at another woman. You have eyes. You're going to see other women. However, it should not make you want to leave the woman you're with. That's the point that I'm making. Like, you shouldn't be ready to jump ship just because you find someone that's prettier and maybe a little bit more fun. And I think it's crazy to even admit that. And if someone's going to make you want to leave your girl immediately, then you have bigger issues. Juliana is a beautiful woman. I'm not saying she's not gorgeous. But what happens if y'all end up together and then another beautiful woman who you think is more beautiful than Juliana comes by? Are you going to leave her too? This to me is not a Kaylee issue. This is a Summit issue. And this show is not going to fix it for him, like I said before. Kylie and Summit also seem to have drastically different versions of how their relationship dynamics are. She is saying that this man talks down on her all the time. But when he's back at his villa and he's talking to the girlies about it, he's like,
I just never talked down on her.
Yeah.
it is like both of those things literally cannot be true at once. Either someone is lying or there is a huge misunderstanding going on here. And to be honest, without being in their relationship 24/7, how will we ever know? I feel like until we see them come back together during, I think it's called the final bonfire, until we see that happen, how are we going to know what that situation really is? Maybe he truly does feel like he's not talking down on her. And maybe she really does feel like he is, or she's taking it the wrong way, or he is really talking down on her. I can't call this one. And I know a lot of people are so quick to be like, of course he's doing it. Why would the woman lie about that? But I want to remind you guys of what happened between Cole and Zanab on Love is Blind. Women can lie too, and women can be manipulative as well. So I don't know. I just can't call it. The two stories are so drastically different that it's like I would need to see proof to know. Moving on to Scarlett and Cole. Now, I wasn't going to bring this up because I don't really like to speak on people's medical issues because that's not my place. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. I can't diagnose anyone, but I'm going to put something on the table. I think that Cole has anxiety. And I say this because he said that he is always stressed out. He's always on edge when he thinks about Scarlett blowing up about little things in their lives. And so he's learned to lie in order to avoid a blow up. Now, I'm not saying that this man is in an abusive relationship, but I will say that is something that people who are in abusive relationships do. Typically, you see it in women. I don't want to make them upset. I don't want them, get upset and punch a wall or hit me or something. So I'm just going to omit things, or I'm just going to do this, I'm just going to do that, because they get used to walking on eggshells because they don't want their partner to blow up at them. I feel like that's a response to that. Put that to the side. But also, I want to go back to what they said when they first got on the island. We know that relationship started with him wanting to commit, her not wanting to commit, but still wanting to dictate who he slept with. You don't get to do that. How controlling is that to be like, I'm not ready to make it serious, but also be serious with me? And he's already saying that he feels a lot of pressure from her, and that's why he lies about little things. But I want to point out that this man blinks a lot, and it's not regular eye blinks. It's like really long blinks, like like, you know, and blinking excessively like that can mean a lot of things. But one of the main things that it could be is a stress and or anxiety response. And I know that because I do it. Y'all know that I have a diagnosed anxiety disorder in addition to social anxiety. I also blink excessively when I'm really stressed out or really anxious. And so when I first saw him doing that, I was like, I see that, but I'm not gonna speak on it. But then I started noticing it really only happens when he's talking to or about Scarlett. When I see him talking with that other girl, I forget her name, I don't see him looking stressed out and blinking excessively when he's talking to her.
Lexi for sure makes me feel a lot more comfortable to, you know, to open up about my relationship, like in a respectful way, and it makes me feel good.
But granted, I haven't seen him interact with her too much, but I'm just saying I didn't see it. And if this woman is stressing you out that much that you are having physical symptoms of anxiety, then you need to leave this relationship, if for nothing else than your mental health. He feels emasculated by her and she feels that he's effeminate. And so there is an imbalance in this relationship, especially coming from her point of view. So she doesn't respect him and she won't respect him. And I think I said this in my last video, but I really do think that she wishes that he had been doing more on the island so that she could have permission to do more and she wouldn't look like the bad one. Because even when he does go deeper and show emotion and he cries, she's like, that's what I wanted him to go deeper. And then she still says, yeah, but I'm really enjoying my time with Bradley. Like, I think Bradley's cool, so Cole still might not be the one for me. And then in her video to Cole, she says,
I truly wish coming into this that we had not set such strict boundaries.
What do you mean the boundaries are too strict? It just, all roads lead back to her wanting to be able to do more and she can't because he's not playing the game. Scarlett and Bradley have this connection. I think it's because they're both 29 and they are on the same page in life. But I'm gonna be honest, Bradley has a January 6th mustache and I don't really know if I could trust him, but she seems to like him, so hey. That's all I have for this batch of episodes. We're getting ready to wrap this up in the next batch and I'll be back tomorrow to discuss it. I did want to say one thing. How do y'all feel about Netflix using AI to create their music? I had a feeling that they were doing this like a season or two ago on Love is Blind because I heard some questionable lyrics that I was like, I don't think anybody wrote that. But I feel like it was confirmed during that ABC party because I guarantee that nobody wrote a song about ABC party that perfectly fit this event if it weren't AI.
We're gonna do an ABC party so you can wear anything but clothes.
I'm talking A, B, C. Anything but clothes when you come around me.
I don't know. I'm still iffy on how I feel about using AI to make music. I don't know. I just want to know what y'all think about it. I'll be back, of course, tomorrow to discuss the final batch of episodes. And until then, I'll see y'all later. Bye. Got the baby off the home before my night. You know I can't hear none of that. Spend a night. Shit, I don't even know if I want to go down that road. I'ma hold that. I'll say that for another time. It's too political for me. Siri, how much time is left on my timer?
There's a timer with 2 minutes and 14 seconds left.
Thank you, girly. I know them boys wanna see me broke down, see me bummed out, see me stressed out, anxious every day. Shut the fuck up, I don't want your conversation. Rolling marijuana, that's a cheap vacation. Not the deodorant trying to take me out. Well, at least y'all know I put on deodorant. Some of y'all don't. Some of y'all don't.